One Piece chapter 1045 is out, and yet again it lives up to our expectations. So far we've seen Luffy and Kaido go against each other on a more or less equal footing, with both parties succeeding to land damaging blows to each other. The climax is here and certainly only one person can be declared winner of this battle. Alright guys, Sean here, and this video will contain massive spoilers. So I suggest you read the chapter before watching the video. The cover page returned to the Vinsmix cover story. And two Syl hits appear in Cacao Island. I think those are Reijo and Ichiji, simply because after the Vinsmix defeat, it appears Niji and Yanji were captured and stored in Montdore's books. After which they were handed over to Kaido, Brownie and Ananas in some sort of torture room. I don't know whether this torture room is in Cacao Island, since we did see Bruler a while back using her mirror ability. However, the cover page does allude to this having to do with pudding. So I am guessing a clash is inevitable. I really hope this time the Vinsmix do have a plan, because they've previously lost to the Big Mom Pirates, and the last thing we all want is for them all to get captured. Actually, now that I think about it, if they get captured, doesn't that mean that Sanji will have to return to save them? Wouldn't that be a perfect opportunity for a rematch between Luffy and Katakuri? This might be what Oda is planning. We might not be sure of what Oda exactly has in mind, but we can be certain that the outcome of this cover story will definitely have consequences on the story moving forward. After landing a devastating hit on Kaido, he becomes intrigued and asks Luffy who he really is. I already said that I believe Kaido might know a thing or two about Joy Boy, and this could also serve as reason why he wants to have a massive war after finding the One Piece, or why he wants to die. Luffy's reply, definitely the same as he did when he first understood that he could utilize Conqueror's Haki to code his attacks. It was quite ironic that, while Kaido was asking Luffy who he really was, Zenesha was replying this very question. And he kept talking about the rhythm, which might actually have to do with Luffy's heartbeat. His conclusion was of course predictable, but I do believe Oda could be hinting at Joy Boy having a plan, which Luffy is going to complete. We've already got a few snippets of the plan, but what remains is to solve the big jigsaw that Oda has planned. Kaido uses a new attack called Gundari Meteor and landed a couple of hits on Luffy. And after doing some research, I found out that Gundari is the name of a Japanese wrathful deity. Befitting of Kaido. He begins to count his losses but concludes that it is the same for Luffy, who launches another attack that phases through Kaido's body, all the while hurting him. This time Oda made sure to show us the armament Haki coding. It is clear now that Luffy's attacks are practically unblockable. I will expatiate more on it in another video, which will drop this weekend. Stay tuned for that. Kaido's smile in this chapter sent chills down my spine. Luffy always does this to some of his most impressive opponents. He talks about Luffy's allies caught up in the flames that are soaring flames since the smoke has begun to reach the rooftop. So we panned onto the flames, and there was literally a lot to talk about. We already knew Kanjuro's Kanzembo incinerated literally everything it could, and the result was a huge fire. However, things have really been getting worse, and now we can see why Kaido was talking about the flames. Not only have the flames soared, but the flames have also blocked all exits. In the live floor, Chopper and Nami are blocked. Nami says she can't find Brook, Robin, Usopp, Zoro, Jinbei, and Sanji. We did see Sanji get back up a while back, and Usopp seemed fine. I was more or less worried about Zoro, since Zoro was more or less an inconvenience at the moment, since he could not move. And we did see a Grim Reaper attack Zoro. In the interior of the castle basement, some of the Heart Pirates were carrying Beepo, who does not fare well with heat. His fur of course is too much of a problem. And we do know that polar bears do not do well with heat. In the basement, Brook and Robin are also stuck, as the flames have blocked all exits. Sanji was in the pleasure hall with some ladies, their escape routes were also cut off by the flames. In the basement of the castle, Scratchman Apu kept nagging at Ivy, the numbers who ran away with Apu, to punch through the heated wall. We can tell Ivy is hurt, since his arm looks sore. And the injury could be due to the flames, as it appears the flames have reached the basement as well. I found it funny that Usopp was trying to put off the flames by using a plant that sprinkles water. This just made me think about the California forest fires that have been recurring for a few years now. He said he promised to save Izo, but is in a tight spot. The giraffe gifter, I think her name was Hamlet, seems to be the one carrying Izo's body. Finally we got to see Frankie and Zoro in the right brain tower. Zoro has not yet recovered, and Frankie is really trying his best to get out of there. Finally we got to the 4th floor and Raizo in this chapter was on point. So it appears, after watching the Kazuki castle burn, Raizo was always looking for a contingency plan in case he was ever to face a likewise scenario in the future. So on Zoo, he trapped the water Zanesha used to water the island in his scrolls. And guess who was there with him? Jinbei, the first son of the sea. So it appears the plan is to release all of the water stored in the scrolls so that Jinbei can use fishman karate to control the water so that it can put off the flames in the whole castle. We got to see Killer in the 1st floor, carried by members of Kid's crew, saved by the water, as well as Blackback and a few minks saved by the water. Jinbei's control is pinpoint accurate and would of course enable everyone to be saved. Oda uses Yamato to remind Momo of the pressing situation at hand. Apparently Kaido is at his limit and would no longer be able to support the island, so Momo needs to step up and find a way to prevent the island from falling, or at the very least ease its landing. The only option I see at this point is Zanesha aiding Momo, since he can actually communicate with her and her strength could come in handy. Finally in the last panel, we see Luffy holding a lightning bolt and Kaido casually smiling. I think this clearly hints at this being the final clash. If anything, I think Kaido has met our expectations in every way, and I think, if he falls now, everyone would agree he has lived up to the hype. Either way, Luffy holding a lightning bolt is a shocker. I don't know how this is even possible, since rubber is an insulator. All it reminds me of is the famous Thor axe Luffy used to defeat Shiki, but this one is quite different. Finally I think Ibi and Apu being in the same floor as Yusuf might mean Yusuf might get the chance to win Ibi over, since Apu already pissed him off. The chapter was a solid 10 on 10 and I can't wait to see what Oda has in store for us next. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys later.